just buy Bitcoin and hold. These guys are just going to like mess with as we create more derivatives and more ways for people to buy Bitcoin without actually owning Bitcoin or holding Bitcoin. This gives them the opportunity to mess with the price, right? If someone gives me a bunch, like let's pretend I'm BlackRock, right? Here's what I've got. You're going to give me money to buy an asset that I only going to give you dollars for. You're going to give me dollars, and I'm going to only pay you out in dollars, and I'm going to buy this asset. And I want to keep this asset. I want to hold this asset. I got me an idea. Since I only owe you dollars, right? I will mess with the price of that asset. And how will I do that? Well, simple. I can borrow those assets from you without you knowing, because there's something called leasing, and then sell those assets into the market, dumping the price. You're getting fearful, right? And, exiting out. But I'm, making profits because I'm shorting the market, because I know when to short the market. Maybe I even have access to call Iran. Hey, Iran, say you're going to do something. Right? To help get to me to the price that I need, right? Because my dumping, right? I think this is what's happened here, right? Bitcoin, if we look back at Bitcoin, they kept trying to dump the price, and it wasn't working. So it's like, let's give Iran a call. Something like that happens. Something, maybe not exactly like that, but something around those areas occurred, right? And so, yeah, you could expect that these guys, they don't play. When you're playing at the big leagues, right, you've got control over a lot of things. You pulse on a lot of things, and buttons on a lot of things, right? So keep that in mind. So they're going to play with the price. They're going to keep the prices up. They're going to keep the price down when they need it. And yeah, to move things around just like they do with gold. So expect nothing less, right? And keep buying Satoshis. Learn how to maximize your income into dollars. Get as much dollars as you possibly can to buy some more Bitcoin, right? Because there's lots of dollars out there. It's easy to get a hold of, and you can buy Bitcoin and take it off the exchange. And as there's less and less of it, they have to that they own, they can control. They can't do this price manipulation as much as they can right now. So yeah, it's up to you, right? If you take control, you will take advantage. You will have the advantage, because as they manipulate the price down, as they manage the price, there will be a colossal move, effective both for gold and silver and Bitcoin. And because again, the US dollar is a fraud, so it's a Ponzi scam. And so when it ends, it's going to end badly. And you're going to reap the benefits heavily on that end, because you're going to be on the short side of the US dollar or by holding Bitcoin. That's how it works. It will be a complete melt up on Bitcoin and assets that are normally used for storage of wealth. So, and Bitcoin is one of them. And it's going to be a interesting time, basically. And I know that's a Chinese curse, but it's going to be an interesting time. And the most amount of wealth will be produced in that very, very short amount of time. Very short. Right? The wealth transfer will be absolutely epic. But in the meantime, you're going to be hurting. Trust me. They're going to hurt us. This is just the beginning. You can't time these things, right? Remember, they have a lot of control. So they can like squeeze the neck of other central banks to say, okay, buy up our dollars, right? Or else, right? or do unit swaps, and we'll buy up your dollars, buy up the dollars with the swaps, currency swap. So basically, they could swap yen for US dollars, right? And then buy up a bunch of, with their yen, buy up a bunch of dollars and stuff like that, dropping the yen. There's a lot of tricks they can do. There's a lot more than that, but that's an example of that. But at the same time, that end is near, right? Eventually, it's going to happen. There will be someone, right? As this game, everybody's here, everybody in this game, right? There's lots of big players in this game. There's going to be someone outsmarting them, and then eventually it's going to fall apart, right? So it will come, and it will come fast, and it will become suddenly, right? Because there'll be probably someone who's just like, okay, I'm going to do this, and they don't even see the chess pieces on the board, and then boom, it's checkmate. That's how it works. And then the dollar's done, right? So yeah, look out for that. It's coming like this, boom, boom, and that's that. Right? There'll be a bank holiday, right? Most likely, where no US dollars will be allowed to move, and everything will get repriced, right? And that's how it works, right? And you will be priced out of the market if you're holding dollars, right? You'll be like, okay, well, they're probably going to do it with a big dump on Bitcoin and gold, of course, right? They wouldn't want to do that any other way, right? Because then they can, take a hold possession of all those assets, those actual assets that are worth something, and then give you dollars for that, and then at a low price, and then give you then reprice it at an extreme high price, right? So that will be the plan. And if you don't think they can do that, just remember what happened to oil. It went negative, and that was the actual price of oil. So don't think it can't happen. Right, you will be sorely mistaken, right? Because we've already seen it happen, and so it will come. Keep in mind, collapses occur when okay. So, for example, Rome, for most of the centuries, they didn't cheat the system, right? So, centuries they didn't try to shave gold and put crappy value into the coins, right? It was only the last 25 years of Rome that things went out of hand, because they started debasing the currency. So it didn't take long after that, right? So it was a lot shorter than you think. It was with the debasement of the currency, and all debasement of currencies always occur rapidly. It's not going to last. You're not gonna say, oh yeah, I'm gonna die before that happens. Nah, man. Have you seen what's going on? Okay, let's take a look at what's happening right now. Where is the Fed right now? There's inflation going up, and a recession we're in the middle of, on the cusp of a recession. What do they do when we have a recession? Yeah, that's right. Print more money. Okay, so you see the rock and the hard place the Fed's in right now. They're like running out of options here. So you can see how things are going to unfold, right? That slowly over time, things are going to get shrunk down and collapse. And yeah, it's going to be a wicked ride. You can see that it's coming, this year, next year, or, 5 years from now, or 10 years from now. It's coming in a very short amount of time. And you can see, come on, let's take a look at a debt clock, right? Come on, right? If you were to put this on a graph, like the speed of the debt, it's a hockey stick, basically, right? And this does not even include the massive unfunded liabilities, which are now fucking due. Let me explain to you, now fucking due, what that means. All the Medicare, all the Social Security is now payable. There's now the Social Security fund, which is what everybody's getting paid for, taxed off of, right? Everybody gets taxed at Social Security. It was basically a Ponzi scheme. Now, it's gone negative. Basically, the money that they were taking for everybody to pay for Social Security was only used to pay currently people on Social Security. Now, that's gone negative, meaning that they don't make enough money from Social Security with charges to pay off the people who are on Social Security, right? And since they didn't save the money, they now have to borrow more money to cover Social Security payments. They didn't save the money for Medicare. Now they have to do that too. So, yeah, we are at the beginning of the end. Everything, all the signs point to, yeah, it's game over, dog. Game over. And this is going to grow. This is now growing at 2 trillion a year. 2. They predict that this will grow by 4 by 2030. Hello. What? And that's what the government's predicting. And by the way, just so you know, when the government predicts numbers that far out, they're off by huge margins. They're way off. Because that doesn't include any kind of like, oh, well, there's some sort of emergency event. We need to bail out the banks, right? Again, that doesn't include that prediction. That doesn't include some, oh, well, there's some sort of emergency earthquake or whatever, right? It's just a matter of time before, someone puts the checkmate move on the United States government and dollars. It's not the end of the world if the United States dollar collapses. It's just a thing that happens throughout history. Not world ending. All right.